Hey, One Mug World Entertainment. It's that time of week again, the preview for episode 8 of Starfleet Academy. I could have done this on Monday because all these images dropped on Monday, which is unusual. They normally do it around Tuesday evening, and then you normally get the trailer on Wednesday. There's been no signs of a trailer at all, and it doesn't look like they're going to drop a trailer. There is this almost 2-minute long mashup trailer of a bit of new footage, but it's mainly all old footage, and it's like, I'm not covering that trailer. What's the point? It's all the episodes we've seen with just snippets of new episodes, and it's not for episode 8, so it's like it's not worth doing. But as you can see, by the way, if the trailer does drop, I will do a video on the trailer, maybe, depending on what it is and, you know, is it worth it. But as you can see from the images and of course the thumbnail, yeah, Tilly's back. Now, I thought she was only meant to show up in the very last episode of season 1, but it clearly isn't the case. What is hilarious is the actress, it does give her name here, what is it, something, Mary Wiseman. She was the first person announced for Starfleet Academy, and we were told it was for this big recurring role. And now it was confirmed that, yeah, she's only actually in one episode of this thing. So the very first person you said, look who's coming back in a recurring role, you actually brought back for one episode. And I think it's hilarious because they did the same with Tatiana Maslany. They were like, she's going to be in a recurring role. She's been in one episode. One. And she was in it for about 10 minutes, which was the very first episode. Never to be seen again at this stage. So she'll probably show up in the very last episode for like the last 5 minutes or something, and they'll probably do an Anakin Skywalker on Caleb, which is he'll find her just as she's dying. So let's dive into, we are seeing the images, but what this episode is. It's titled The Life of the Stars. It was written by 2 women, so you know what that's gonna be like with this. I expect a lot of eating. So the synopsis for this episode is: a visiting instructor arrives at the academy and uses an unorthodox method to help our cadets process the emotions of recent trauma. At the same time, a cadet faces an unexpected challenge that will alter the trajectory of her life forever. Now, the irony of this, from episode 6 to 7, we were told a month had passed. How much time has passed now since episode 7 to 8? And by the sounds of things, they're still dealing with the trauma of that mission? They seem to be pretty much over it in the last episode, so what trauma? No, seriously, what trauma? You remember how Gaydon's boyfriend, Kyle I believe his name is, was so upset at the end of episode 6 when the Vulcan dude, whose name I have no idea what it was, got killed. And the very next episode he was happy and gay again, you know? I forgot to say in my review for that, by the way, he gave the worst, gayest wave at the end of last episode. Like, it's one of those, it's almost like when you see somebody mocking a very flamboyant gay person, you know, that type of thing. That's the way he was. Like, Gaydon, yeah, I know it's Jaden, but he's Gaydon now, is talking with Jesus, what's his name, Damar, whatever, the gay fish boy, and they look over and see Kyle and he's doing this stupid wave. I'll probably get a clip of it and stick it in here while we're talking about that, but it was just like, oh no. But it's like he got over his buddy's death incredibly quickly because, like, he's ready to go on holiday to Ibiza with his boyfriend. Like, yeah, so what trauma? No, seriously, what trauma? As for the trajectory of a cadet's life forever, it'll change her life. It's the Betazoid. How do I know that? It's very simple. She's in the War College. She was in a coma. She's out of the coma. She's back now because we can see her in the images for this episode. Do you notice something? Yeah. She's in the Starfleet cadet uniform, not the uniforms of the War College. So it's clear she realizes the War College isn't for her and she's going to go ahead and join Starfleet instead, which is like, okay. So it's funny as well because the thing is saying, like, the preview reveals the return of Mary Wiseman, reprising her role as Sylvia Tilly. I'll be honest with you, I thought Tilly was her first name. That shows you, no idea her name was Sylvia. From Star Trek Discovery. Clearly she is the visiting instructor described in the synopsis, which tracks with her Discovery storyline of leaving the USS Discovery to become an instructor at the space-based version of Starfleet Academy before the historic San Francisco campus was reopened as seen in the Starfleet Academy series premiere. And it's funny because it also says then after that, like, we were told that she was going to have this recurring role, and instead she's just this returning instructor for one single episode. So you'll notice as well, actually, in one of the images, might be a couple of them, but definitely one of them, with the Betazoid girl, whatever her name is, Tamir, whatever, I can't remember what her name is. She has the implant thing back in her neck, which I think is funny because it's like, you made a big point about her ripping that out, but obviously it's back in, so clearly she can't control still her emotions and stuff like that, which whatever. It looks like it's going to be another boring disaster set, and with Tilly being in it, like, Tilly is one of the worst characters introduced in modern Trek. Well, until these bunch of window lickers were introduced, especially the character of Sam, the retarded hologram. Like, good God, does she just eat up scenery when she's in it, and it's like, literally and figuratively. But yeah, like, it looks like it's a lot of sitting around. Why there's Tig Notaro in the captain's chair, they seem to be doing, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if this is their take on the Kobayashi Maru. Oh, seriously, would you be surprised at this stage? I wouldn't be. What's funny as well, and it is something that needs to be pointed out, is in the episode where the shit hit the fan, episode 6, when they did their training thing, and they had all the cadets on the bridge. When shit got real, why was it not the case of cadets clear the bridge and they bring in the actual staff for the scenario? Instead of, okay, take your stations, you've never dealt with this, you've no idea what to do, but we're gonna keep yous here in charge. Like, that was so stupid. And now we're seeing them on the bridge again. It looks like this episode's gonna be nothing. It doesn't look like it's gonna progress anything forward. And I've just noticed something in one of the images. You'll see it when you get the image off the bridge where Caleb is facing us. It looks like it's the Betazoid's brother. I have no idea what his name is. It's like Oka or some stupid like that. I just noticed, and you can see it yourself. Look at the base of the chair that Caleb is sitting in, which you can clearly see is all the other chairs as well. It's the Federation logo. It's the comm badge symbol. It's like, oh no. Why would you do that? And it's like, it happens to be in a picture that you can notice it, which means we're 8 episodes in and no one has noticed that before. That's ridiculous. Why would you do that? But yeah, we're gonna get an episode with this bunch of window lickers and Tilly. Good God. What kind of unforgettable dialogue will this moron bring in? God only knows, because she was just... this is the woman who dropped the first F-bomb in Star Trek history. Yeah, Tilly. Just out of nowhere when she went, this is so fucking cool. And then apologized, and it was like, wow. It was like the most unearned F-bomb ever. And then, of course, she's on the Ozempic as well, because if you see the images of her from, and even the videos of her from the premiere, yeah, you wouldn't tell that was Tilly. Until they tell you who it was, you're like, there's no way that's Tilly. Is that Tilly? It's like, this is also the woman who is married to a man and has kids with said man, and then came out as being non-binary bisexual. Bet you that was a surprise to the husband, who obviously was saying it to get work. And congratulations, you got 1 episode of Starfleet Academy. But there you go, folks. There's the images. There's the breakdown of what this episode is. Can barely contain my excitement to watch it and review it for you. Again, if the trailer for this thing, which is normally like 30 seconds long, drops, I may cover it depending what it is, if it's worth it. Don't know. If it doesn't add anything new, it may not be worth it, but as of now, it doesn't look like they're going to drop it anytime soon, so we'll wait and see. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I shall catch you in the next one.